Hello faggins and welcome to Bepsi's Big Grow, the show where I grow things and they become large. This is the first episode and we are starting our growing operations here for the season 2021. Got fuck all else to do because COVID's outside. I'm not growing a lot of stuff at the moment because outside it's a bit, it's not quite the climate at the moment. So I'm just going to show you things that you can grow easily just indoors. So that would be herbs. So we've got some lovely basil, chives, we have some thyme, and we have some coriander. Now I'm not a massive fan of coriander, but the family likes it, so we're growing some of that. Thyme, really good herb for putting in your meals, adds a nice depth of flavour. Chives, great for a garnish. A member of the onion family, so a slight oniony taste, and they're really good because they keep growing back up. So basil's one of those ones that it's very hard to keep fresh in your fridge. You'll have a very short shelf life, so it's nice to have a plant of basil around so that you can just harvest it when you need it, and then obviously because it's a plant it will just be kept fresh. So with the coriander, so I've just popped about 5 in there, and then for these ones the seeds are a lot smaller in these ones, so I've just grabbed a pinch of these seeds and just sprinkled them in, and then done the same, putting the soil on top. We're using recyclable compost pots here. These are good because if you want to plant your seedlings on, if you're growing something like a tomato, you can just wait until they grow up into a seedling. You can snip the bottoms off of these and then the roots will actually grow out. So I will hit you back on the flip when we see some progress with these guys. Should be in about a couple of weeks or so. How we doing, gamers? Got a bit of an update for you. The herbs are still growing, so we'll leave them to do their thing, but in the meantime I've been and got the rest of my seeds and the rest of the things I need for this growing season, so we'll just go through them now. I've been on a bit of a shopping spree, so we've got some propagators here, so these are going to help us grow the seeds indoors initially to kind of give them a head start before we put them outside. We've got some weed barrier fabric here. So I've got a planter outside and we're going to be lining the inside of that so it can hold some soil, and we'll be growing our tomatoes and peas in that. And the pièce de résistance, we have the crumpet now. The seeds. The seeds have arrived. So we've got a few seeds, so we'll just do a quick rundown of what we're growing this year. So we'll start off by looking at the fractal cauliflower. Romanesco cauliflower. I've never tried to grow this before, so we'll give it a go. So we've got some peas here, so we're going to try and grow some peas. These are Hurst Green Shaft. I don't know who Hurst is, but you should probably get that looked at. So we have some black tomatoes. Now black tomatoes, very flavourful and also very nutritious because of the black skin. We have some spinach here. Now this is mustard spinach. I tried to grow some spinach last year, but it got absolutely tanked by the birds because my mum just goes out and just lobs birdseed in every direction. So the spinach was a casualty of war. Radish, love radish. If you can grow anything, just grow radish because it can grow in pretty much anything. Doesn't need a lot of space, and it's basically the deal where you sow them out every week, and then they grow up so fast that you can just have a continued supply of radishes coming in. Got some lettuce. I think I like purple veg because all my veg seems to be purple varietals. Soft, buttery, textured leaves. Finally, Boltardi beetroot. Now, Boltardi, it's called Boltardi because it doesn't bolt very easily. So, what bolting is essentially when the vegetable goes to seed, so it sprouts flowers and starts trying to produce seeds before you can harvest it. It's called bolting. Now, I'm going to go back to my crumpet and I'll see you for a next update.
Alright, here's the 411, folks. Say some
you won.
Is dissing your
Plant.
You just give him one of these. Ooh, hey.
Bepsi's Plant Fact of the Day, Episode 1. The bird of paradise plant. This is Strelitzia nicolai, so a white bird of paradise. And these can actually take many years to produce a flower. I've had this one for about a year. I've had it since it only had about 3 stems. You can see it's just about to grow a new one here. And this will not actually flower probably until it's about 10 years old. So if you're getting your friend or lover or wife's son a bird of paradise plant, you might want to make sure it's either mature, or if you want it for the time investment or to punish them, get it very young, because it will take years to grow. Thanks. Okay, so I've grabbed the pots. Again, we're going for these compostable cardboard fibre ones. I've also grabbed my compost. So this is just, this is seedling compost. The only difference between this and multi-purpose compost is it's got a bit more nutrients in to try and give your plants a best start when they're growing from seed. Multi-purpose compost works fine as well. I just saw this at Wilco's, innit? Right, so we're just literally gonna dupe and scoop. Give it a good shake. I don't want to fucking be sleeping in a garden patch tonight. Right, so we've got our compost in there. We're just going to press it down, and we're doing that just because we don't want too many. I mean, it's gonna all compress down anyway when we've got the water in there. But we're just going to press it down just so we don't have any major air pockets. So the roots, they need a firm area to anchor in. How tomatoes grow is if you see on the stems, and we'll show you this in a later episode. But if you see on the stems, they have tiny little hairs all over the stems, and what those are their little sensor hairs. And when you plant on a tomato plant, you plant it as deep as you can right up to the leaves, and those hairs will actually start turning into roots, and that gives your tomato a really good place to anchor from. Let me just do the rest of these pots. So you can see here, so I've just got it filled up, just like you fill a cup of tea. You just leave a bit at the edge so you don't spill it all over the floor and give your dog something to lick up. So we're just going to do that with the other two. I'm trying to think of a good story to tell you whilst I do this. Here's one for you. I used to work at the National Space Centre in Leicester, which, if you've ever been to Leicester, is a building that looks like a giant condom. And when I was there, we used to do all sorts of corporate events. So companies, weddings, birthday parties, that kind of thing. It was a venue, essentially. We were doing one for a charity. I can't remember which charity it was, and one of their key patrons was Professor Brian Cox. I was waiting his table, and it was him and his wife that were there. His wife was a lovely woman, really nice. You know, oh, thank you very much for the water to the table. Oh, cheers. Are you okay carrying that? Can I help you? Brian Cox just fucking hand waved like big on peasant. You weren't on BBC, I was on the BBC, fuck you. I was quite taken aback by that, because I thought he was a really nice guy, but he was very, very hand wavy when I met him. Maybe he was just having a bad day. Cool, so we've got the pots filled up now, and so we're just going to get our seed packet, and inside we have a little sachet. See, we've got, I don't know if you can see that, but we've got a couple of seeds in there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seeds in here. So literally what we're going to do then, because I was going to do this anyway, I wasn't quite sure how many seeds they'd give us, but when planting plants to grow, sometimes a seed won't germinate, so it is good practice, even if you only want one plant per pot, is to plant a couple of seeds or a few seeds in each pot. Cut these out. Okay, that's 6. So we're literally, and I'll show you again when we're done, but we're literally just going to pop 2 in each one. We'll give them enough space apart for them to grow, but we'll also put them close-ish to the centre so that when they do come up, we'll take the best one in each pot and we'll pluck the other one. And then we'll plant that out in the garden and just leave it and see what it does. Okay, so you can see there, I've just popped seed, 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 and then it is survival of the fittest, battle royale. No chicken dinner though, you just get to live. So we're just going to take our compost here now, and we're just going to pop a nice layer on top to cover it. Ooh, I'm getting soil everywhere. That's my problem for later. Firm it up a bit. Pop that on the floor for now. And then with this one, pop the compost in. Firm it down. And then the last one, compost in and firm it down. There we go. And these should take a couple of weeks, and then we should start seeing some little seedlings growing up. Alright, thank you guys.
Bruh.
So we've got our tomatoes planted. I'm literally just going to give them a water and pop them on the windowsill. Alright guys, thank you for joining me for the first month of Bepsi's Big Grow. make sure to tune in for next month, where we'll be doing a lot more gardening work, and we'll be setting off a nuclear holocaust. Thanks.